you have a vision of a life of luxury and wealth and a whole bunch of other things that you see flexed on social media? Well, everybody does. So for today's video, I'm here to talk about 6 mistakes that I think both brand new content creators and people with an interest in content creation make. My name's Jay. I run 3 different YouTube channels, Jay the Gamer, Jay the Gamer COD, and Jay Vlogs, where this video will be going. I recently just got Jay the Gamer COD monetized, and that's the second YouTube channel that I've ever had monetized. I stream on Twitch, I stream on X, and I actually stream on YouTube Shorts as well, where I've seen a large majority of my growth actually. So I sort of feel like I'm qualified to kind of talk about this particular subject. My main channel is over 4K subs. My Call of Duty channel slash, I guess, variety streaming channel, Jay the Gamer COD, has over 2,600 now. And we're pushing 40 on Jay Vlogs, which I didn't expect to happen so quickly. So I feel like I'm a little bit qualified to talk about this particular subject. So without further ado, let's jump into it. All right, I've got all 6 things on my phone right now just because I don't remember things sometimes when it comes to these like bullet point talking videos. So let's go over the very first one, which is don't make it about the money. So the reason why I say this is content can be either really immediate, like some people just gain instant success overnight, or it can be a slow burn. There are people out there, not talking about myself of course, that have been working really hard for years and years and years and still don't have the immediate success that they've been looking for. Now, that could be for a variety of different things. It could be their own fault. They could not be working on the right platforms. They could not be doing things to push their content out. There are so many variables that kind of go into that, but what I'm getting at is when it comes to thinking about money, when it comes to content creation, it's never that immediate. Not only do you have to hit certain like required rule sets to actually start earning money on YouTube, for example, you have to draw in a viewer base where literally all of your income comes from, be it just views on your video or people that just like to give money or subscribe or give memberships on YouTube or something. You have to actually build that community up. It takes time. Most successful content creators, some of the biggest ones in the world, they did not have the extra money just lying around to flex it around and make their life look extra lavish. The money takes a while to get to when it comes to content creation. Like, it's not immediate. If you make it about the money, people will be able to tell that you're only invested into it for the money. Also, I just took a shower, so that's why I'm like super shiny. I promise I'm not sweating that hard. If you make it about the money, you'll be disappointed because the money with content creation almost 90% of the time doesn't happen immediately for most people. Don't go into this expecting to make a ton of money. Go into it with the mindset that you're gonna have fun with what you do and you're passionate about it. And this actually breaks off into my second point, expecting instant growth and instant satisfaction. And we'll kind of throw something about passion in there in a second. So the thing with making content, you either blow up immediately or you don't. Now, I kind of already covered this technically, but my first initial point was literally about the money. Don't make it about the money, make it about the passion, make sure you're enjoying it. When it comes to the whole instant gratification thing or expecting instant success, again, it's the same thing as making money off of content creation. If you expect that to be the immediate, I'm not saying that you can't look forward to the success or the instant gratification or the satisfaction of growing a content brand, a community or whatever. I'm just saying, if you go into it expecting that, like with the money, you might just be disappointed and it might be discouraging. All of this kind of leads back to the simple point of do it because you're passionate, but if you're expecting things to just instantly go your way, well, you might be let down because there's a lot to learn when it comes to content creation. There's different avenues of approach, different niches. There are millions of people that do content creation now that have all conquered some form of niche that you probably have already had interested in. They probably thought of something that you've already thought of. So when you go into content, like I said, do it because you're passionate, not because you want the money, because that doesn't always come immediately, and not because you want instant gratification or satisfaction or success or whatever, because that also isn't guaranteed right off the rip. And the last thing you want to do is be disappointed because you didn't achieve either of those things right away. Okay, so for our next point, comparing yourself to others. This is a big one. I feel like with the way social media kind of works, with the way platforms like YouTube and Twitch work, where you see millions upon millions of people watching certain content creators or streamers or YouTubers or whatever, people see these guys with their millions of followers and they try to mimic what that person is doing. I see it all the time. If you go through the lower sections of Twitch or whatever streaming site you use, there's a lot of people out there kind of trying to mimic the ideas of other existing content creators. Now, they say imitation is the best form of flattery. Don't get me wrong. Like, you're supposed to get your ideas sort of from somewhere. But what I'm getting at is if you try to do an idea that somebody else has already done and you're not seeing the exact same level of success that that person is seeing, well, you're kind of setting yourself up for failure with that one. And I say that because if you don't know that person's backstory or how they got to the point where they are, some new content creators will go in thinking, oh, I see this guy with 1 million followers and thousands of viewers. If I mimic exactly what he's doing, people will watch me. People watch content creators because of their personality, you know? That's the main reason. It doesn't matter the game. Sometimes it does, especially if you're like a competitive guy or whatever. But a lot of people watch content creators for their personalities. So you can mimic all you want, like what their on-screen presence kind of looks like, but if you don't share that person's personality, experiences, or however they grew their particular community, you're also not really gonna make it that far. There is no point to comparing your levels of success to others, especially if you don't know their backstory. Just focus on you, focus on what you can do to make yourself grow. That's all you have to do. I'm gonna use a small example. I started streaming on YouTube Shorts recently. There are a lot of scammers in YouTube Shorts. Lots of people that do streams where they're just trying to sell people fake items, V-Bucks, Robux, get people to pay for things that aren't real, or do generic things to basically get a huge following. And we'll get to the point of how this revolves around comparing yourself to others. I took a look at what people were doing on the Shorts platform after a while, after streaming on it for a bit, and I just realized a lot of them were doing the same thing after each other. I decided to just approach content on Shorts by being myself. We've shot up over 500 subscribers on my Call of Duty channel strictly because I decided to be myself and not compare myself to the other content creators on that platform or other content creators in general. I just said, screw it, we're gonna do what I do best, and it's been working out. So don't compare yourself to others, just take your time, figure out what you like to do and what your on-screen presence is gonna do, and it'll be okay. It'll work itself out. Okay, number 4, trying too hard to be unique. I know I just said do not compare yourself to others, but this is a little different. What I mean by this is there are so many ideas out there that it's almost guaranteed somebody has done an idea that you are interested in doing. They've probably tried it, or they're thinking of the same idea as you. A lot of content creators will say, oh, you gotta be super unique. You have to really do something unique in order to grow. Well, that really isn't true. If you have an interest in vlogging, I mean, there's only so many levels of unique you can be with vlogging. I'm not saying it isn't impossible, but what I'm getting at is similar to comparing yourself to others. You don't have to strive to be the most unique person out there. It's okay to have an idea that somebody else has had and put your own little twist on it or approach it however you want to. It's very hard to have a unique idea these days in the age of the internet. Like, there are so many different things out there that people think of that you also probably have thought of as well. So don't hold it against yourself and not produce a piece of content just because you've seen other people do it. Now, you kind of get how that's different from comparing yourself to others. Instead of striving to be exactly like another person, I'm just saying that it's okay to have a similar idea to another person and put your own unique, quote unquote, twist on it. I make Call of Duty videos, I make commentary videos, I make talking videos. Do you know how many people do this already? So it's okay, do whatever idea comes to mind, don't overthink it way too hard. And going into number 5, this one is a strange one, okay? So this relates primarily to people on social media platforms. You gotta stop calling yourself a small creator or a small streamer. Now, in the most literal sense, you may be a small streamer. Sure, you might not have 1 million subs on YouTube or 1 million followers on Twitch. Okay, that's fine. But metaphorically speaking, you're only a small streamer if you believe you're a small streamer. Even if you are literally a small streamer just dictated by the numbers game, the more you claim that you are little or you are too small of a content creator or you're in the small streamer community, well, the chances are you just might be. You're a creator at the end of the day. That's what you are. It doesn't matter if you have 10 subs or 1 million subs. You are a creator in the metaphorical sense. You like using the ideas that come to mind to make pieces of content or art or some other form of creation. But don't sell yourself short by claiming that you are little, because that never matters. You never know what could happen tomorrow. You could instantly blow up, you couldn't, but at the end of the day, you're still a creator. You'll be the same creator if you blow up tomorrow that you were yesterday. And the only thing that'll be different maybe is the number. Small belief creates a small mindset, which will keep you in a loop forever. You'll never be able to think outside of the box when it comes to making up new ideas and turning it into content. So don't sell yourself short. All of this kind of relates to just not selling yourself short, which is kind of funny. But don't consider yourself small. Just consider yourself a creator. I think that is the best way to have the most positive mindset when it comes to making some form of content. And this last one is actually so true, because as a guy who started off with a laptop and some really generic TVs and little monitors and stuff, you do not need the best gear to start making content. Don't let that hold you back. If you've got a camera, a microphone, a computer, a keyboard, a phone, a regular phone, just start making the content, man. There are a lot of beautiful gaming setups, as we, well, look at the one behind me, but I'm actually gonna show you some pictures of what my original setups have looked like over the last like 12 years. And over time, these setups grew. I worked really hard to improve them. I saved, and then I bought things that I thought were a priority. You don't need the best gaming equipment or the best cameras or whatever to get the best content imaginable. I've seen creators that have blown up after literally just playing Call of Duty on their PlayStation and using like a cheaper Elgato like recording or streaming software or equipment. But do not think you shouldn't do a piece of content because you quote unquote lack the best equipment. Almost every single successful streamer or content creator has always started with the bare minimum. So don't let that hold you back. It doesn't matter what kind of equipment you have or if your camera's in 4K or 1080p. It literally doesn't matter. Well, those are my bullet points, and I think I technically kind of tossed a couple of extra ones in there, but either way, those are my thoughts on 6 mistakes that I think up-and-coming content creators or people that are interested in content make. And let's go over this one more time. Number 1, do not make it about the money. Number 2, don't put all of your faith in things just happening instantaneously. Like it could. You never know how things could go, but I just don't want you to be disappointed if it doesn't happen like that immediately. You never know how the things are just gonna turn out. It could go really good, it could go really slow, but either way, the point is you should be having fun in the process. Stop comparing yourself to others, that's very important. Stop trying too hard to be just as unique as possible. Stop thinking with a small content creator mindset, and stop thinking that you need the best equipment imaginable to make content, because that is just not true. Like I said, I've done content creation for a number of years. I've had a lot of ups and I've had a lot of downs. I've had a lot of opportunities where I've succeeded and a lot of opportunities where I've failed. I've learned a lot over the last like 6 to 8 years of me doing content creation on and off. Like I've practiced, I've tried many things. It takes time sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. But the point is, just make sure you're enjoying whatever you do in the long run, because that's what matters the most. I'm gonna throw this last little point in there. People can tell when you genuinely enjoy what you're doing. If it's very obvious you're only doing it for the money or you're only doing it for the clout or whatever, it's painfully obvious. Like I can't stress that enough. People will be able to tell. So that's gonna be it for this video, guys. Again, my name is Jay. I hope you enjoyed this one. Be sure to leave a like on it. And if you're a content creator that's been doing content for a number of years and you want to leave some additional thoughts or opinions, or if you disagree with my ideas, I'm more than welcome to debating them or just even hearing you out. Everybody's gonna have a different perspective on all this kind of stuff. This is just my perspective. And I don't expect everybody to agree with it, but I am more than willing to obviously hear different opinions. That's just kind of what discussions are for. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. I hope you all have a great day. Peace.